All right, come right over here, Mara. I want you to sit here. Daddy, I want you to sit here.
Not the official. No, but I will definitely. You are?
Please be seated. Please be seated. There's a couch. Wherever you can find a seat.
Sorry, you don't get to see Gus today.
So I want to welcome all of you today. And thank you for inviting me. It is a pleasure. Before we start, would you come up forward? I know you're the grandmother. Would you please put this yarmulke on the baby? And whoever the photographer is, do me a favor, stand over here. Because the photographer from the New York Post told me that you would take me. I'm serious.
This is the cutest thing ever.
It is the
Oh my
cutest.
gosh.
Grandma,
Hide
do
if
you
you
want
want.
to just hold it in the face?
Look up.
What's up?
All of you look up because the photographer. Okay, have a seat for a second. We're going to talk, and then I'm going to bring you up in a minute. So I want to welcome all of you today. My name is Dr. Roberts. I wear 3 hats or yarmulkes today. Number 1, I'm the boy. I'm the person who officiates the ceremony. Number 2, I'm a physician. I deliver babies. I didn't deliver this one. I heard about the pushing. I heard about everything. But Brandon told me it was such a wonderful experience here and in the hospital that he would like 5 more children. So if you like the food, you like the people you're standing and seated next to, get used to it. We'll be meeting 5 more times. I want to just tell you a little story before we begin, and it will be short. I want to tell you the story, or really the journey, of a little girl from Brooklyn who meets a little boy from Nashville. She went to Wardlaw Heath Ridge High School. He went to David Lipscomb High School. She went to VCU. He went to MTSU, Middle Tennessee State University, where I know where you Raiders. Absolutely. They came together when Dad, Brendan, came to New York and met through friends in 2009 and were married in New Orleans on a riverboat in 2011. If you thought you were invited to a Briss this afternoon, you were misinformed. If you thought you were invited to a baby naming, you were also misinformed. To me, it's a celebration of life, and more specifically, a celebration of 3 lives. New mother, I think she looks wonderful. If you agree, you can applaud. I got a nervous father from Tennessee who agreed to a ceremony in his home. Would you give him an applause? And a beautiful newborn son. 3 lives that come together and form a family. It's not just about a Briss or baby naming. It is a celebration of life, and more specifically, a celebration of 3 lives that form a family. On behalf of Mara and Brendan and this beautiful child, we welcome you to the Briss, but more importantly, we welcome you to a celebration of life, a celebration of family. L'chaim. There are 3 parts to the ceremony. The first part is the naming portion, where we announce the baby's name. I've never spoken the baby's name because it's a Jewish custom. The baby's name is not spoken until this very moment at a Briss. Would you please come forward and stand behind your children? And our photographer from the New York Times. Are you the videographer or the New York?
Videographer.
Videographer, so you are
She's
our
our
official
DP for the day.
photographer. Would you look at our
Trying.
official photographer from the Times?
I have 2 different angles. Look.
Wait, one more.
Nice.
Wait, hold on.
Our God and God of our mothers and fathers, sustain this child through his parents' loving care. Let him be known among our people Israel by the name of Russell, Patrick, Kat, and in Hebrew, Simeon Gavriel, Ben Avraham V'Yonah. May his name be a source of joy to him and inspire him to serve our people and all humanity. May his parents rejoice in his growth of body and soul, as Mara and Brendan have brought him into the covenant. So may they, with wisdom and patience, lead him to the study of Torah, to to a life of good deeds, to a marriage worthy of God's blessings, as a family and a community before God. May we all say, Amen.
Amen.
Young lady, would you find your seat? I have a proud father that would like to address all of you. Sir, you have the floor.
I want to thank my wife and all of you. First and foremost, my wife for the most incredible joy and happiness in the world, and all of you for being such a big part of our lives and sharing this incredible moment. You'll certainly always have a place in our hearts and his. Thank you.
Could you tell us, please, either or both of you, who did you name this young man
After his great grandparents, Samuel and Gloria.
after? And their pictures are here because we.
Yep, right over here. On the right.
Not the sombrero one?
On the right.
No.
The small.
This one.
Yeah.
So would you pass this around, please? Brenda's going to read 6 lines. They're the most important words spoken at Briss. I'm going to explain why he read it in a moment. Would you please read loudly and slowly the middle paragraph?
We are ready to perform the positive commandment enjoined by the Creator. Blessed be to God, to circumcise your son, as it is written in the Torah. Every male among you throughout your generations shall be circumcised when he is 8 days old. According to custom, responsibility for bringing our son into the covenant falls to us. We hereby authorize you to perform the bris milah on our behalf.
Let me translate what he read. According to Jewish custom, it is Brendan's responsibility to perform the ceremony. If he declines the honor, it falls to the Sandak, or the oldest member in our group. These 2 gentlemen have declined the honor. What he is doing in reading that paragraph, he is asking a rabbi, a cantor, or moel, to act as his agent to fulfill what is described in the Bible. Point of reference, this is not a Jewish ritual. It is a Judeo-Christian ritual. It is described in the Old Testament. Jews and Christians read the same Bible. It's from Genesis 17, verses 9 through 23. It's based on an agreement between God, Abraham, and the Jewish people. This is a very important time of the year to perform a bris. Jesus had a bris. People don't talk about it, but he had a bris 7 days or 8 days from his birth. And those of us who are not Jewish that go to church on the holy day of obligation, you are celebrating the anniversary of his bris. And for those of you who want to double check my historical reference, Google Holy Day of Obligation. Google will say, also known as Feast of Circumcision. We are doing what our forefathers have done, Jews and Christians, for 4,000 years. We're going to come through the room. We, the couple, and I would like to thank you for being a part of this ceremony. Get your cameras. This is a very good-looking baby. And then we will perform the second portion of our ceremony with the sanda. Wait 1 second. And then we will conclude with some prayers. So let me borrow your son.
Oh, he's so
Don't
cute.
get up.
You can stop.